Welcome in to the CHGO Bears Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app, use promo code CHGO when you sign up. What's going on, Bears fans? Adam Hoge and Mark Carman in a two-man formation today. I'm one versus one.
Hi.
I miss your microphone.
I miss Nick. I miss Greg. I miss Woot. I miss Carmi V. I missed Herb Howard. Who else has done the show in here? I miss everyone, but happy to be here with you, buddy.
Okay, good. I kind of like this. We're cozy today with two people. Braggs is bricking like Purdue.
By miss, I actually mean I don't miss it all.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I miss everything.
Wow.
Thank God Lawrence is here.
Settle down.
I feel lonely.
Okay.
I had a great time in the Discord yesterday, by the way.
Did you? You Discorded it up?
Everybody who Discorded with me yesterday, and Gary Ross, thank you for reminding me and pushing me. And we Discorded a little bit this morning. Discord. Become a diehard.
Yeah. Is it better than Twitter?
100%.
Yeah, that's why you should be a diehard.
Direct hit.
Love it. Welcome into the show. We got a lot of good conversation planned for you today. We're going to talk. We've been accused a little bit, which I totally disagree with our top 5 rankings every position not necessarily being realistic for the Bears. And people want to know, I guess, who would be realistic for the Bears in the second round. I contend that all the players are still relevant because it's very, I don't want to say likely, but very possible the Bears will trade back or could trade back or add an early second-round pick somehow or trade up in the second round. So I think all the players really are on the table in the top 100 at some point. But that being said, some people want to know, okay, there's 3 picks at 53, 59?
61.
61.
64.
There we go.
Same thing. 53,
53, 61, 64.
Believe me, I have it.
It was on the intro.
It's
in the little video.
That's right.
It's in a tab.
We're ready to go.
You
we
can't
got
see
it.
your glasses.
And those are so we're going to give you some realistic guys at that position.
And just know,
those spots.
At Shoemath, who wrote us on Twitter, you influenced this. So when you write at us,
no. He influenced you.
He influenced me. That's fine. He influenced me. When you write at us, when you write at me, I try to sit back and see what is a legit criticism and what is not, and how we can be better for you. So Thank you for anybody who reaches out to the show. You get noticed, you get thoughts, you get discussed, and we try to be better if it applies. Thank you.
We do appreciate the feedback. But we are going to start today with a new episode of 1920 Football Drive.
Let's go.
That is out.
Is it out?
Is it out on YouTube yet? I know it was out on the Bears app.
Well,
we'll give them credit. It's released. What?
It was unlisted, and then I think it's gone.
You guys sent me a
Okay, regardless. The episode is out on the Bears app. The Bears would like you to watch it on their app.
Okay.
Right.
Until it goes public on YouTube.
Right, yes.
Which was my question. I'm not sure if it's public on YouTube.
I did because I have the Bears app, so yes, obviously I watched it on the Bears app.
Regardless, there were some interesting things in there that were going around Twitter last night. I would like to address some of them. I think it'd be I think it's an interesting conversation. Where do you want to start? Because there was some analytics stuff, and I do have to say I'm a little surprised with how much the Bears have put out there. I think it's really cool, and I have a strong take on it. But two, you and Lawrence and others got a kick out of some George McCaskey stuff too.
So if we want to start on the fun side of it, I just thought it was, first of all, I love these. I love behind the scenes. I love seeing DJ Moore arrive at Halas Hall. I love the whole, what they're selling you, that everything is hunky-dory and it's so great to be a Bear. I eat all of that up. I mean, I really just want to work at Halas Hall and, I don't know, in food services. I think I would I think I could make great smoothies for the Chicago Bears as a side gig. I don't want to give up this gig.
Sure.
Those of you who don't want me to do this gig, I'm not giving up this gig. But, I would love it. Just feels like a fun place to hang out. However, when the Floose is talking to DJ Moore and he's like, isn't this facility awesome? Yeah. When I interviewed, George McCaskey didn't even tell me about how sweet the facility was.
He never said a word about the facility.
Yeah.
Way to sell your franchise there, George.
So just a little constructive criticism for George, who we love and would love to have him sit in on this show and would love to see him in the South parking lot. And George is always awesome to literally anybody who runs into him. I'm a big George McCaskey fan as a human being, but just a little bit of a constructive criticism. When you got an awesome facility,
Talk it up.
You should talk that stuff up because players do care about that. It'd be like if he worked at McDonald's, it'd be like, you know what? We got some sweet iced tea. The iced tea over here is great. Like, you if he was at Au Cheval, he would.
Okay, this is going to be a better analogy. I can already tell.
Yeah, the Au Cheval one?
Yeah, the McDonald's one was terrible.
Okay, fine. It'd be like at Au Cheval saying, like, you know what? Try the chicken. You got this great burger. You know, it would be like Mrs. Fields Cookies talking about how they have good coffee. Like, you got to know what you have there.
Okay.
Am I?
Well, look. Here's
what is going on in here, by the way, today? Del Mendo just came off the balcony in a tank top and looking like he just
sun's out, guns out.
He was hanging out with Matt Nakey over there.
I mean, like, it looked like prime college form over there. There's a convention going on over to the left. I don't know if people can hear it.
Cody does look like he's going to a frat party.
Summer is apparently here at CHGO.
Yeah.
All right. Trying to rein my head back in here to this
back to George
McCaskey thing that I don't.
I'll just say it's like if Fitz didn't say anything about how much money they've put into their facilities. Right?
Well, thank you. That's a better analogy. They're trying to recruit somebody, but they don't mention how great their facilities are. Now, with DJ Moore, specifically, different situation. They traded for him. There's really not much recruiting at all actually going on in there. And it was cool to see DJ Moore come in and get a tour, all the people he saw in the facility. Then he took a tour of the city, which I thought was really cool.
With my guy Dilla.
Okay.
Sherman Thomas. Love that dude.
Am I going to look like an idiot if I ask who the heck that is?
Yes, he's the hip-hop historian from TikTok.
Okay.
No one knows who that is except for Lawrence and Seven of his friends.
On.
No, I'm sure.
Dude, he has gained so much popularity over the last 2 years and done a ton of stuff.
Because he does Chicago tours on TikTok?
He just started like doing facts. He's like he's obviously it's not his job. It was during the pandemic. He just started doing TikToks where he would just like name a certain thing and say, here's, it came from Chicago, and does the history behind it. And now he's doing tours, mahogany tours. I would like to go on one at some point. Where
mahogany?
He takes you. Yeah, he takes
you to. What about sandalwood tours?
Good call. But he takes you to like different places in the South and West Side that are like underappreciated, that are like mean a lot to the city.
Well, it looked cool.
Give me the name one more time.
Sherman Dilla Thomas.
Okay,
is his name.
I mean,
he's the Chicago.
My TikTok's gonna start blaring, and there's gonna be things.
You can mute things if you want.
Sherman.
Now,
anyways, DJ Moore got a tour of them. I thought that was cool.
Back to the conversation between the Floos and DJ Moore. First of all, I think the Floos was just trying to make conversation. That's all I think it was.
Sure.
I really don't think this is that big of a deal. Two, as somebody who has sometimes been a little critical of the Bears for perhaps not feeling like they have to sell themselves enough, like, hey, we're the Bears, we know we're the biggest team in town. I've been critical of that sometimes. Like, hey, you should still get out there. You should still,
promote the product.
But that being said, it is not like George McCaskey really to brag about things. It's just not really his personality. He's a very nice George. And two,
you sound like Carm now. He's a very nice George.
He is a very nice George.
I did kind of sound like Carm there, didn't I? But no, Carm's rubbing off on me. That's not good.
It's not great.
We should hit the panic
so
button on that.
you really are going in a great direction right now. Keep going.
Okay. I don't know what number I'm on now, 2 or 3. But when you have the head coaching job of the Chicago Bears open, you don't need to sell the coach. The coaches need to sell them to come to you. Now, do I think the facility should come up in the conversation? Yes. I feel like that's more on Floos. You didn't ask about the facility?
But that's the part that I loved about it on that side. And by the way, if you haven't seen the video, it's just and this none of this, for the record, is any huge big deal. It's just kind of.
I think they were just making conversation.
The whole video.
And it is a great facility, first and foremost.
Yeah, the whole video is just one big selling point for how cute and adorable the Bears are and how they're going to basically win the Super Bowl for 3 straight years starting in 2025, maybe next year, 2024. Why not? 2023. Let's go. But it's just. It's interesting to me on the Flu side. He didn't know about the facility. He didn't ask about the facility. He was kind of amazed that it was a great facility because the Floos literally just wants to coach football and would do it in Botswana, Siberia, Afghanistan, Chicago. Doesn't matter. Flus, facility, schmility. Don't care. Oh, wow, sweet. That's actually good that you have a good facility, but I'm just going to flus this thing up. Flusosophy, facility, doesn't matter.
As long as there's a 100-yard field somewhere in the place, let's go.
Let's go. Is there a weight around here? Great. If not, Flus will figure out a way how to get one. Flus.
They'll just
That's my guy.
Bring some
Straight
bricks.
down the middle.
Yeah.
But now clearly the Flus, with the, as we've seen with the tight shirt, is figured out the facility. He knows exactly where that weight room is. Flus. Flus, George, Coles.
That's his Flusosophy.
They're so adorable, the Bears, right now.
They are?
I think they're kind of adorable.
Okay.
George doesn't know anything about how to sell the product. Flus is just in his lane, straight down Broadway.
Football.
Do we want to get to the traits?
Yeah.
Good thing it's Kevin Warren's job now to really sell the product as the CEO and the president.
It's Kevin Warren's job. Okay, Kevin?
Starting Monday.
Kevin Mark Carman here. I would just like to really ask you.
I was just pointing out that's not really George's job. George is the chairman of the board.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess technically
And George is the one who's out there.
Come on.
At the parking lot, and he's hanging out with the fans.
He doesn't
and
want
he's
to brag
scooting
about
around talking to Mark Carman outside the building.
George's job is to be a professional Staley for in whatever role. And when you're recruiting your next head coach, you dial into being you're going to love this, you're going to love that.
He's just modest. He didn't want to talk about how much money they spent on the facility.
Okay.
Well,
but
thank you, Rob Schwartz, for keeping us on track here. Because what was honestly more interesting and more
this is relevant,
important, I think,
football relevant for sure,
is they take you behind the scenes of the process and the traits that they look at in players. And they actually put them on the screen in a way that you could see them. And this was going around Twitter last night.
Offense or defense first? I got both.
Offense. Because I'm not sure we have all the defense. But, and really, I mean, we're not going to go through all this, but this is what you see on the show. Again, I would encourage you to go watch it on 1920 Football Drive.
It is live on YouTube, by the way. Just check.
Okay. So you can check it out there. But
at 1:20 after we're done.
They put this up there, and you can see, like, for quarterback, these are the critical factors that they care about. Accuracy, decision-making, arm strength. None of this is really, like, groundbreaking necessarily. But
do we think that is, and we're just guessing at this, but do we think that's the order? Are those
I do, because if you look at one example, I was on the defensive ones, but they had, I'm trying to find it now. That's the defensive ones.
Yeah, this one's a little blurry, but
what I was getting at, they had traits that were on two different positions, but in a different order. I think it was comparing the nose tackle to the defensive tackle. So the nose tackle, the 3 technique. On the nose tackle one, power, point of attack power is listed first. On the defensive tackle one, point of attack power is listed third.
Yeah.
So I do think it is in an order that matters.
And then, of course, you got, pursuit motor / violence.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though. This is where I want to go with this, instead of necessarily breaking every position down and what they care about. None of these traits is like some groundbreaking thing no one's ever heard of. So I appreciate the Bears for being willing to put this out there, talk about, they even go into their analytics. And I apologize, I'm not even trying. Great job by Jeff Joniak on the video by saying the guy's name like it was a 3-letter name.
Yes.
Cheerthy or Cheerith or something?
Yeah, the director of analytics for the Bears, though, who does a great job. They talk about the stuff, and they come up with their athletic score, they call it, their A score, which they've put all the factors in. That was actually on a previous episode, I think, from the fall that they showed that. But the point being, like, sometimes in football, we treat this stuff like we're protecting state secrets. And these are the stuff, this is, at least to me, the stuff that, like, your fans should know and find interesting. And you're not really giving anything away here. This is how we do it. This is our process. We're going to be transparent about it so you understand that we know what we're doing and why the decisions are made. And this is, in my opinion, since Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus got here, a departure from how it had previously been really since I think it got a little out of hand when John Fox got here, quite frankly, with like the amount of.
Don't say that name. That name bothers me.
I saw John Fox at a press conference today in Detroit because he's their senior defensive assistant.
That's adorable. Glad that he's still rolling.
I kind of want to go and watch it now so we can get some more John Fox sound bites. I'll check it out. So, anyway, it's a long way of me giving credit to this current regime for being transparent and open about this stuff, because I don't think it's a competitive disadvantage at all to talk about this stuff or show it on a screen here on this show even, and it's cool to see how they go about it. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I think that's lovely that they're not trying to guard state secrets that are not state secrets for a minute, but let's not go crazy here. Flus is a guard state secrets guy. That ain't ever changing. Then that's who they hire. That's what they like. They are. I don't think we have some breakthrough of change of philosophy here.
But
I also do wonder if like they didn't even realize that somehow that was in the video and that people were going to crop it out and see, I'm wondering if they're having a moment of, didn't mean to do that. I doubt it, but possible.
I don't think so. I think they're literally like interviewing polls and the staff members and showing what they were talking about in the meetings and then putting this up on the screen. I don't, and they had already done it in a previous episode. That A-score thing's actually not new. That was they showed that in the fall.
Fair point.
And I think they realized a lot of people like seeing that. So, and I have to quibble with something. Yes, definitely to a point, Flus is a, keep things secret. But I do understand it to a certain point in season, game week, when you're talking about actual competitive advantage stuff against your opponent that week.
He wouldn't say at the combine where he went to dinner with someone.
Yeah, that's a little, okay.
Let's not, I mean.
Shout out to Adam Johns, who did get the Deer Path Inn nugget in his story a couple weeks ago.
Good job.
Yeah.
I think it's, interesting. Let's just start with the quarterback quickly. We don't have to go through all of it, but the number one thing is accuracy. So based on that, if they had the number one overall pick and didn't have a quarterback, who do you think they would have taken?
Well, I do find
accuracy, decision-making, arm strength. To me, it screams to me Bryce Young.
Yeah, but I did notice on all of these, like, size isn't mentioned.
Right? Well,
but on all positions. So I think that's something that's just sort of that they put separate.
Next level Hoge analysis. I'm going to start calling it that. That's going to be a thing.
But did you notice that none of the positions mentioned
clearly I didn't, and that's an excellent point.
Like if you get to offensive tackle, it doesn't. Well, I guess it does say length. It does say length under offensive tackle.
Terrible point, Hoge. Back to me. Bryce Young.
But I do find it interesting under quarterback, you don't have mobility.
Don't care. We want you to sit in that pocket and fire away.
Accuracy, decision-making, arm strength. I would say that this maybe is a hint of why they're not completely all in on Justin Fields. I mean, they obviously are now. They made that decision. They're going with Justin Fields. But the fact that he was even up in the air.
You wouldn't.
Because arm strength would be his. If we're not even going to talk about, well, obviously it's mobility, which is not on the list. Athleticism, which they do care about because they show you the A-score thing.
Yep.
But that's not listed here. Arm strength, which he definitely has, is third. Accuracy and decision-making are not his top two
correct
traits, I would say, but maybe getting there.
Just sounded like at the Catman. Correct. I think that it's interesting when you play out. Don't want to get anybody in a tizzy here. I think that Justin Fields is the Bears quarterback for a long time. I think they're going to sign a new extension at some point in the next, call it 15 months. But I also do think that if things go sideways with those two first-round picks next year, it could get interesting when you just boiling down that little thing: accuracy, decision-making, arm strength. A lot of big spotlight on the Bears this year in that offense. We'll see.
We could, and we don't have the time, but
how about
you could go to even a running back.
Yep.
Burst and acceleration is top.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't David Montgomery.
Nope. And it's really not Khalil Herbert. I mean, he's got
a little bit more.
He's got, but he's more crafty, I would almost say.
Yeah.
I would say it's more, it makes sense on Deontay Foreman. That's what he does.
And ball security being fourth is interesting for me. I would put that first.
Well, yeah, sure, but I get it. Like, if you can't do this, I don't care if you can hang on to the ball because you're not going to be worth anything anyway. So, and by the way, make sure you hang on to the ball, which is why it's, I think, a fourth category there. But let's look at offensive tackle. Pass pro ability, length, foot quickness.
Yeah.
Who does that scream to you? At 9, if they go that way. Best tackle available. Everyone's sitting there. Pass pro ability, length, foot quickness. It's kind of a combination of the three. Right? Broderick Jones, Peter Skoronski, Paris Johnson Jr.
What about Darnell Wright?
Darnell Wright, it should be mentioned. You're absolutely correct, Lawrence Benedetto.
Yeah, I would say Paris Johnson probably fits those three things the most.
Probably right? But if you go foot quickness, pass pro ability, I'm starting to feel a little bit of a Broderick Jones.
Yeah, I would also caution everybody that there's a reason teams put out everything these 2 weeks before the draft.
Well, there's another thing. Is this a fake? Is this fake Bears?
Fake Bears.
This is their fake list. Anything's possible. Could we have the crafty Bears? None of this is real. Take that, Bears.
I take back everything I said about the transparency then.
NFL, you think this is what we want, but is it actually what this could be a whole thing.
Is that something people are talking about?
I've never heard it until this moment. I think we just uncovered it. That's why you listen to the CHGO Bears podcast. Bears putting out fake categories. Somewhere Ryan Poles is watching the show and smiling. Anything's possible. We love you, Ryan Poles. Thanks for being on with us.
Yeah. Well, regardless, fake or real, and certainly if it's real, I don't think it changes anything. I don't think it gives away anything. I don't think it gives away any secrets. It doesn't make me feel any more likely that they're going to draft a different player over another one. It's cool that they put the stuff out there for the fans to consume. That's my biggest takeaway.
Let me just get high and excited one more time. Wide receiver, release.
Did you just said you're getting high?
And excited.
Okay.
Combination. Afternoon delight right here on
Back to
CHGO
After Dark
Bears.
Carm.
After Dark Carm at noon.
Release.
There's a lot of people in here today.
Release, no pun intended. Route running, separation, and hands ball skills. That's wide receiver. Who does that sound like? I mean, it's not just one person.
This is my point. I'm not going to – I don't –
all right.
Who does it sound like to you?
Jackson Smith and Jigba to the moon. Let's go.
Yeah. I like Jackson Smith and Jigba. All right. With this great weather we've been having this week.
Oh, wow.
I've been –
What a transition.
Well, it is a great weather week here. We're getting spoiled. I'm sure we're getting third winter in a week or two. I'm sure it's still coming. But before that happens, I am dying to get out on the golf course.
Yeah.
I have a little bit. Hit the driving range with my son the other day. He loves golf. And the Pins and Aces gear has been coming pretty clutch. Because Pins and Aces is the official golf apparel partner of ALLCITY and CHGO. We love our Pins and Aces gear, like this hat that Carm just put on his head.
Great hat. I wanted to take it as my own, but as a great teammate here that at least 3 people would call me, I left it for a prop.
Yeah, I took the most expensive hoodie.
Hoge picked the best thing out of there and walked out the door. That's why upper level Hoge, great strategy.
And I've worn it twice, although I did leave it over there, and I should have it with me right now. But we do love our Pins and Aces gear. It's really comfortable, versatile, wicks away moisture, which is key on the golf course, and it's good on and off the course. I wore mine to the White Sox game last week. They're a family-owned golf and apparel business. They make amazing polos. You check out a lot of awesome designs. They have a pimento cheese shirt.
That's exciting.
Which was relevant with everything going on at Augusta last week. Hats, golf bags, and my favorite, the beer sleeve, an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right inside your golf bag and keep drinks cold the entire round. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use code CHGO to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
Love yourself some pins and aces. And Adam Hoge, it is now time for me and you to make the world a better place and to save some money all at the same time. Isn't it? I think that is.
Let's do it. You still looking for it? Oh, yeah.
Aren't you number one?
I didn't know if you were ready. The ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, which we love, is committed, that's what I thought, to helping families and businesses in the communities they serve, helping manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future.
Which is absolutely amazing, Adam Hoge. And if I can just let you know that it's such a delight for me to do this moment in time with you.
Because ComEd offers a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across the territory. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities like for HVAC systems, commercial kitchen equipment, or industrial processes.
Why don't you ask me how it works?
How does it work?
Well, an authorized engineer, Adam Hoge, will work with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. You get that special treatment. This can be done in person or virtually. It lasts approximately 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing the energy efficiency projects they can start working on immediately. Each recommendation will include estimated energy savings, cost savings, project costs, potential incentives, and a simple payback. If you own a business, do not wait. And you can get started saving money and energy today. For energy saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz. Did you say ComEd.com/poweringbiz? Indeed, I did, Carm. Schedule it today.
That's right.
Wow.
That's exactly right.
That's good.
That was great. It was great. Braggs is asking if there's a party going on here today. Apparently there is.
There very much is. White Sox are here. Hawks are here.
A lot of day baseball today. We got a Blackhawk show coming.
So if you're hearing the background conversations,
I don't know. I don't hear anything in my headphones, so
Okay.
it's just you guys. Just deal with it.
what kind of headphones do you have? They're hearing it on the stream.
They are?
Yes, that's why I brought it up.
I think Braggs is just saying that because you're talking about it. I don't think anyone's hearing it. Are you hearing anything?
Well,
people?
it is true that we did throw a party because you're not here today, Braggs.
Oh, we can hear it, says Josh. Okay, in that case.
And for those of us who said that we don't miss anybody on the show today and just enjoying being together as a twosome, I am absolutely not telling the truth. Gregory, we miss you. And we miss you too.
All right, I'll tell him to shut up next time they start talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, next thing we were going to discuss on the show today.
Apparently, Cubs will have a lot to talk about today, but there are reports out there that the Cubs and Ian Happ have agreed on a 3-year, $61 million extension.
Wow.
No options. Deal starts in 2024, according to Michael Cerami, who does a good job over there at Bleacher Nation. So it's the first person I see.
Is Ian Happ eligible to be drafted with the number 53 overall draft?
I think Happ could be a decent tight end. We don't really need one.
No, he's too short.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I was going to say
All right,
like
slot receiver.
Slot receiver.
Slot receiver. My bad.
Sure.
He looks physical to me, but he's really not anywhere close to
Yeah.
a tight end. I've stood next to him.
Makes good coffee.
He loves a coffee.
Shout out Connect
Who's
Roasters.
that other guy that loves a good coffee on the Cubs right now?
No idea.
Jamison Tyon. Weren't you whining somewhere last night?
I couldn't name 4 players. on
Hoge
the
was
team.
whining via text last night that he wants to be a Cub fan.
No, not what I said, and that we will bring up later on in the show.
Okay, we'll get to it. I'm going to read
it.
exactly what you said later. Verbatims.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Verbatims.
I think I may have said I'm jealous of the Cubs. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will verbatims.
Verbatim.
I will explain here in a little bit. There's a little tease.
All right.
But
Get to our, yes.
for those that would like us to narrow in a little bit more on realistic options, if the Bears do pick at 53 and 61 and 64, we each have 3 names here. Now,
I have 7.
okay, there you go. I would also encourage you to check out my mock draft because I made an emphasis on that. Picking names that I think could be there. That mock draft is out and available for you to check out either on YouTube if you want to wait till the end of the show, or you can pull it up if you're a diehard. It was emailed out as a newsletter yesterday and is available at allchgo.com. One of those guys that was in the mock draft, I didn't want to be completely repetitive, but I do think it's a name that should come up and we should talk about a little bit more, is Matthew Bergeron, the tackle from Syracuse.
This excites me.
I think this is a guy that could be in play at any three of those picks that the Bears have. I think I put him as the early third-round pick in my mock draft. But Matthew Bergeron, who is almost 6'5", 318. Canadian.
Like it.
Not the longest of all arms, but certainly on the acceptable end of the offensive tackles. I think he's a really good pass protector, does a great job of passing off stunts with his vision. Similar thing I've given Skoronski credit for, and he has experience playing on both sides. So I think that in the third round, would be a great pick if you haven't already addressed somebody who I think can come in and play right tackle pretty quickly for you.
My dream scenario, and this is why Ryan Poles gets paid the big bucks, and I'm sitting here hanging out on the podcast with Hoge and Lawrence. And
don't sound like it's such a punishment.
Yeah, it's a party over here, bro.
I love my life. Every morning I wake up and I come close at least to pinching myself as to what I get to do Monday through Thursdays. Double pinch on Mondays for the Double Dip show with the Bears After Dark. But my point is that this is not an easy call, but I think home run for me and a lot of Bears fans is you draft a playmaker at 9 or wherever you trade down to from 9, and you address your offensive line needs later. And that's exactly what this would be with Matthew Bergeron being the right tackle, next level, drafted a little bit earlier than Braxton Jones. So it would be awesome if Ryan Poles could hit a home run and get the tackle in the later rounds, get the Bears another playmaker. I'm not satisfied that they have enough playmakers for Justin Fields to really thrive, for the offense to thrive. So I don't think they're going that route, but if they do, I would be super excited about it. And by the way, 4 years with Syracuse, 39 starts at tackle, a lot of experience there. He's been playing right tackle since 2019, baby. Let's go.
So he was on your list too?
He was not on my list.
Oh, so you just okay.
I'm just complimenting your list.
Okay, thank you. I'm
Would
not
you like-
going to compliment yours.
You're not? You don't? Should we?
Well, it depends on who it is. Who do you got? Should we alternate? Let's alternate.
You want to alternate?
Yeah,
All right.
let's alternate.
So I'm starting with Isaiah Foskey, 6'5", 285, stud, Notre Dame, led the Irish in sacks the last 2 years, double digits, 11, 12, and let me tell you something about. Let me give you a little bit more about Isaiah. Team captain, right? 5th most tackles for the record on the team, and again leading the team in sacks. But this is a guy who's been on the field a ton. I watched his tape. He doesn't, for whatever reason, which makes me nervous about this selection, he doesn't exactly look the part. He looks a little stiff to me, but he's playing in big-time games, and one that I watched, him going up against Paris Johnson Jr., he's going right past him and getting to the QB. So if we're talking about a guy who has been able to get to the quarterback consistently throughout his college career, he got 4.5 sacks as a sophomore, and then he crushed it as both a junior and a senior and could be there. I can get myself a little bit hot and bothered for Isaiah Foskey. Let's go.
Foskey.
And Foskey, back in my play-by-play days, Adam Hogue, because I know you're super interested about St. Edward's University from 2005 to 2007.
Love St. Ed's.
DeFosk could shoot it off the bench, so I might be slightly drawn to him when St. Edward's was winning the Heartland Conference Championship 3 straight years with a great play-by-play guy.
How much credit does the play-by-play guy deserve?
I thought I was very instrumental.
Okay.
Like
and we can get back to this in 1 second,
probably,
but there was one time where I was doing both PA and the introductions. I had the Tommy Edwards, Ray Clay role because somebody was out that day, so I did my pregame show. Now for the introductions, me, and then I stepped right in there, and and did that. And on this day, right before we got to the national anthem, the CD was broke. There's no band. The CD was going to play the national anthem. And so they said, were whispering at me, "Can you sing the anthem?" No, I cannot.
That would have been a hard no for me.
I absolutely cannot sing the anthem. So we're just sitting there, knowing what to do, and the person next to me does stats, a classic lady. "Well, guess it's a group thing." And that's what it is. I'm like, all right, for the anthem, let's all do that group thing. Do it together. We all sang it together.
Yeah.
It was actually a very nice moment. All right, back to the draft.
Yeah, well,
Yes, it's a group thing.
this is just you could have skipped it too, and everybody would have been fine.
Yes, let's have it.
Everybody would have lived.
Dude, that's true, too. We didn't necessarily have to do the anthem for the 3 people that were there. You're absolutely right.
I could just see the panic going on.
Oh, there was panic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's another example, by the way, of Hoge level eliteness. You don't need the anthem. Just move along. Get to the game.
Just go to,
All
would
right, now
anyone
the
have
starting
even
lineups.
noticed?
3, no. Of the 3 people that were there, they were there to see their kids, and I don't think anybody was dying to stand for the anthem. We've done it a lot of times, and we'll do it next time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring you a new name here that we have not talked about on the show. At least I don't think we have.
Daniel Shillman. Crampy is talking about CDs. Half of the audience might need to learn about CDs.
You know, that's a real thing, though. My son doesn't know what a CD is.
Yeah. I mean, it's
weird
Since
to me.
when did CDs become an 8-track? But apparently they are.
Yeah.
CDs.
Like 20 years ago.
Gone and
Spotify.
gone. Does your car have a CD player?
What year was the last time you bought a CD? No, my car does not have a CD player.
I think my last purchase was probably High Violet by the
My
National.
car has it. I mean, I'm driving a 2014 Accord. It's got a CD player.
I'm going to say like 2015, 16, somewhere in there.
Yeah. You bought one in 2015?
I think, maybe. I don't know.
And I have a CD in my CD player that once in a blue moon, I'm like, you know what?
What's the
I'm heading
CD
there.
in your CD player right now?
Mark Knopfler.
Knopfler, okay.
Tracker, I
Sure,
believe his
yeah.
last album. I don't know the struggle, man. All right, back to your
Shout out
list.
to
Number 2.
LimeWire, says Pedro.
All right, I'm going to give you a long cornerback here.
I know you're going. Okay, K-State.
Yes, Kansas State. Let's go out to K-State. 6'2", 3/4 of an inch, 198. Julius Brents. They call him Juju. I'm trying to do your intro right now. Kind of a slow starter at Kansas State. I mean, 3 years in, he hadn't played a ton. And then you get to the last 2 years, and 13 starts, 14 starts. He's got the height, the length, wingspan. So I like that part. Obviously, there's some – look, most of the guys we're talking about here in the second round, right? If they were slam dunks, they'd be going in the top 10.
Yeah,
And-
right.
And so there's always some issues here. And, again, a lot of times it's inconsistency. But I think you bet on the traits. I think he's got the ability to play, tight man coverage, which is not necessarily the top thing you need from your corners in this defense, but playing downhill, making plays on the ball. I like Julius Brents.
I like him too, and I like the Bears addressing that position at some point in the draft. I also would throw out there, I just think it's an interesting question when you're looking at later round picks. Do you prefer a guy who's got the high physical talents but hasn't quite have the production, or do you like the guy who physically he's a little bit different but he's got huge production? AKA top of that list, off the top of my head, somebody that wasn't drafted last year and was one of the Bears' best players in Jack Sanborn. Would you rather have that guy who, wow, he has a ton of tackles, and when I watch the tape, he's all around the ball. But you know what? He's a little slow for the NFL. He's a little undersized for cornerback. He doesn't have quite the arm length is a little concerning on the offensive line and or at wide receiver and or at corner. Like, for me, the later you go, I like to lean on the production and or some level of story where he didn't play football until he got to junior college or something along those lines. Like the guy that the physical freak who can't play scares me a little bit more than the guy who can play but doesn't have all the physical tools to quote-unquote succeed in the NFL.
Well, which one do you think is at the top of the list of the Bears' traits for cornerback?
Don't remember.
Ball skills. Now, a year ago, I would have said that Julius Brents has not had enough production on the ball, but this year he delivered 4 interceptions and 8 passes defended, which led the team. And this is one of the reasons why I like him is and I talked about this yesterday, I like these players that are going this way still. They're getting better every year. And he's gone from somebody who's barely playing to a player who started every game the last 2 years, got better as a junior, got better as a fifth-year senior, and now does have that ball production to go along with those traits. Now, he's not the fastest guy. The 40 time was 4.53. But, again, if he was a 4.3 guy with this type of size and ascending, he'd be going in the first round easily.
Yep. And I'm a little bit on my second pick here. I'm a little betting on speed a little bit too much for my own comfortability, but I'm still going to do it. I am going down to the SECs, going up against top competition, and I am taking a wide receiver because I love wide receivers. I'm assuming on this pick that the Bears do go chalk and take the best offensive lineman at 9 that they like, and we're looking for playmakers. And I'm going after my guy straight out of Mississippi who stayed home.
Oh boy,
yeah, Senior Bowl watch list guy. A lot of second team, which makes me nervous, but he's also an honor roll guy as well. So fits in the Bears' hits philosophy. Give me some Jonathan Mingo. We once had a man by Steve McMichael known as Ming. Now we're going Mingo, wide receiver. If you watch him whenever he catches a ball behind a defensive back, they ain't catching Mingo. So I do like wide receivers who have that finishing speed, which he absolutely does. In my scout of him, he caught a lot of balls that, were of high degree of difficulty. So I like that as well. I like guys who do play against, top level competition. So Jonathan Mingo is the son of John and Tanya Mingo. Tanya, thank you.
Maybe the Mingo ate your baby.
That's enough.
That was amazing. Mingo.
So he's almost 6'2". One thing I like about him, because this is a draft with not a lot of big guys.
Yeah.
And the ones that have, a lot of questions like Quentin Johnson. But Mingo, I think, plays bigger than his actual size, even though he does have adequate size. He's good at separating, knows kind of the intricacies of creating the extra space there at the end, and he makes the tough catches. So I'm a Mingo fan.
Let's Ming it up. Mongo to Mingo, 2023.
Yeah. All right, my last guy in this conversation, at least today, is somebody we've talked about a decent amount. He came up yesterday, but for different reasons. But since the question was who's realistic in this range, and there's some question, I guess, about if Joe Tippmann will really be there at 53 with that, which I think is fair. But I feel like there's a decent chance that John Michael Schmitz will be there.
Agreed.
And I think he does fit that range and being realistic for this area. So another guy who has the traits, the ability, the profile to play in the Bears' outside zone run scheme, and I think he's right in this area to potentially go to the Bears. And the fact he was wearing that White Sox jersey at the Twins game, I think
that sold you the most.
Should cement it, quite frankly.
Again, back to Hoge offensive line, second-round draft picks. We need a center. The answer is clearly long-term not going to be Cody Whitehair. I don't think we're looking long-term at Lucas Patrick. I don't think we're going to switch Kevin Jenkins to center either as he meanders his way around the offensive line. I don't think we're drafting Peter Skoronski because he can also play all 5 positions. So, makes sense. And, last year, double down on cornerback / secondary. It wouldn't be completely off the board for him to go tackle guard center. I wouldn't rule that out.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think you could rule anything out because I really do think they're going to draft with the best player available mentality.
Yeah. And he's adorable. Good showing up at a baseball game. A lot of things to like there.
Is that the scouting report? Showed up to a baseball game.
We like him. He had a good smile. I mean, we don't know these guys that well. So I got a bunch of names that I'm just want to throw out there. A lot of people like Derek Hall, so do I. A lot of people like Keon White, so do I. And there is a level of a Keanu Benton as well, which, Mr. Wisconsin, what would you think about that?
I like Keanu Benton. I think he has the versatility to play both as a 1 technique or 3 technique. I thought he had a great Senior Bowl. Just one of those guys where when he's on the field, good things happen. The Bears need a boost at, being a little bit more stout with the run defense up the middle. I think he can help with that. So I like Keanu Benton. And I think you're right. I think he's kind of in this range where any 3 of those picks could potentially be a Keanu Benton.
So I'll highlight one guy, though, that I like his journey because Lord knows it has not been linear for me in life. So here's a guy by the name of Keon White out of Georgia Tech who started his college career at Old Dominion from 27 to 2020. All right. Now he goes over to Georgia Tech. He misses his first 8 games coming off an injury his junior year, and then his senior year as a redshirt senior battling his way, completely breakthrough year. So you're betting on a guy who is busting out a little bit later in life. I like people who, C's get degrees, somehow get you through high school right here, continue that tradition into college, and then all of a sudden, you kind of figure out at some point in your life that it's time to really compete and see what you can become. And this is why I like a Keon White who led all Tech linemen with tackles. He also got to the quarterback a ton. He had team-high 14 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 6 in the ACC. And when you watch his tape, dude can play, man. He's an interesting character. So not a linear path. Out of Carolina, starting with a smaller school, wants to give himself a little bit of shine. Has to battle through some injuries. I don't exactly love that either, but this is a bigger swing at a guy who I think could be a high-end talent.
Well, everyone in this area is going to have some type of flaw that they're going to have to get over.
Right.
Or they would be top 5 picks, for sure. So there's a little list of some guys, and we'll continue to keep bringing them to you. What are we, 15 days away?
We're 15 days out.
We're getting there.
It's coming right around the corner. You want to mention that are we having a draft party or something, Hoge, where people can come
a draft party? Huh?
By the way, I love Derek Hall, too.
2 draft parties?
I don't know anything about this.
Nothing?
No.
I believe it's on Thursday and Friday night.
2
Tell me all about it, Carl.
draft parties.
2 draft parties, and there you see it. Joe's Bar, 940 West Weed Street. There's a bunch of packages for all shapes and sizes. You want the reserve table where you get to sit on Adam Hoge's lap? We got that for you. You want to just be able to get in the building and have yourself some cocktails? We got that for you, too.
That's not what they explained to me was VIP.
I'm upgrading.
Oh.
You go VIP. You get a Hoge. You get a Hoagie hangout.
VIPs is down the street, but actually it's not called that anymore.
I think it's good for you to really get to bond. There's going to be a ton of Goose Island there. That's exactly right. We're all going to be having a good night. Good night.
Gosh, I hope so.
Because
I'm a little concerned, but that's
no.
just
There will be no booing allowed because we're all on team polls here. They're going to get it exactly right. Whatever they do,
What about when Braggs walks out, though?
Braggs is going to be drinking, I think, 17 Crown and Cokes. Hopefully Jenny is coming and we'll be able to get him home. And/or
is he sleeping on your couch?
He absolutely is not. That's reserved for elite CHGO teammates of the fandom variety. If you come down and you need a place to stay, come right over to the South Loop with Carm. We can ride on over, take a nice Uber after the event. I've got a wonderful couch for you. It's got to pull out. I mean, maybe you have like 3 people sleeping on that thing. Let's go.
Not me.
You're going home.
I'm going home. Although your place would definitely be a lot closer.
You have real life to live. I'm just going back to
Tickets available, allchgo.com. We hope to see you there. And we do have a giveaway going on, too, I should tell you about.
Yes, you
You're
should.
going to want to check this out because we're going to, I think we're going to be giving the tickets away actually tomorrow, but you got to get in on it today to win tomorrow is how I should say it. Win 2 tickets to either day of our draft party. The tweet is up now on our CHGO Bears account at CHGO_Bears. If you tag a friend that you'd want to bring and you separately retweet the tweet that's up there, you are in the running to win these tickets, and the winner will be announced tomorrow live on this show on the CHGO Bears podcast. So make sure you're tuned in tomorrow to find out if you are one of the winners. And there you go. Opportunity to win some free tickets to the draft party as well.
And yes, Edward, the couch is reserved for the Duke if he shows up for the level of support that the Duke has brought here. But you know what?
No? I'm sorry. Your bed is reserved for the Duke. You're on the couch if the Duke is
There
coming.
it comes. There it is.
Wow. I mean, if you really want to get invited to Duke Island, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Where's the Duke
you're
been
giving
the
up
last
the
couple
bed.
days?
Duke's got a life to live. He's
making deals.
We've been communicating behind the scenes. Everything's good.
By the way, CHGO Bears offseason coverage brought to you by the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program. Learn more at comed.com/poweringbiz. And because I knew Carm wasn't going to be ready for this, take on the sun with gear built to last.
Were we even in a read?
We are now.
No, hold on, Hoge. Hold on.
No, I got you.
No, please.
I got
please.
you.
But I
Put
want
your
to.
shady rays on and enjoy the sun outside.
How do we get to a read? That was the quickest read ever over there. We were just talking about our draft party. I was thinking about
which
the Duke
leads to
sleeping
the
in my
other
bed.
reads.
Yeah, and we're only 13 minutes late for
Made
it.
perfect sense.
All right. No problem.
But
Shady Rays.
You guys know the Shady Rays has you covered for the warm weather ahead with our premium polarized shades at an affordable price. And again, a reminder, just like yesterday, I think it's important to point out, like, this is shtick. Everything's okay here. I think people, like you said yesterday, I think people think, like, we really get annoyed when stuff like that happens.
Oh no,
It's all fun.
We're good. I mean, there's like at least 2% real annoyance over there for sure.
No. When I put it in our rundown, I knew that short ComEd read, there was no way you were going to be ready for the next one.
Oh, you
I was prepared. I was prepared an hour ago to do this.
It's called 15 years of knowing each other on that one.
And learning from you.
Yeah, well, that happened. I was, you know what I was thinking about Shady Rays today, by the way? If George McCaskey worked for Shady Rays, he would be selling like burgers. He was saying Shady Rays has great burgers. That was my thing.
You need to relax on that.
We love you, George. He would at least forget about the fact if you lose the Shady Rays, you get a new Shady Ray. Protection plan. You forget about the protection plan.
Yeah,
well,
the protection plan it's the most insane protection in all of eyewear because every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. Because if you lose your sunglasses or break them, especially the losing part, because that happens. And you're like, well, now what do I do? I can't show them that they're broken. No, if you lose them, they'll still take care of you. They'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. You can wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much-needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through their Shady Rays Impact. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for our listeners here, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people.
Look at our guy Cody Del Mendo. He went out.
That's what he was doing out there?
He was just out there on our back deck, and he's tweeted about how he's excited he could run through a Wrigley brick wall right now after that news about Ian Happ. And he looks really good in his Shady Rays.
Okay, well, that's a good segue.
I mean, who doesn't like a good 3-year, $61 million Ian Happ with a Shady Ray with a Del Mendo on a balcony in the middle of a summer, in the middle of a Cubs incredible win streak?
Good look at our sweet balcony.
2 in a row? 2 in a row? 2 in a row, but 2 in a row and 4 or 5?
You were wondering if they'd ever be above 500 again this year.
said
They're
it.
6-4.
Yeah, I was 1,000% wrong. I had them winning 62 games.
Yeah.
Somewhere, at least one of my
Well, that might
predictions.
still
Now,
happen.
now we might as well go to 100.
Wow.
Cubs Sox World Series.
Okay. So,
What happened last night,
Here's
Adam?
what happened last night.
Can I read the actual text?
Go. You can start by that if it's ready.
So, hold on.
We were texting about all kinds of things.
Yes.
1920 football drive, George McCaskey, baseball.
I might go on a rant about how cool the Cubs atmosphere looked tonight. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Does that not sound like a dude who wants to be a Cub fan?
No, see, this is where, dude, this is why.
I might go on a rant about how cool the Cubs atmosphere
Did you
looked tonight.
see it?
Yes.
I have some questions because I don't really know anything about going to
Okay.
Cubs games in my recent part of my life.
Okay.
Because back when I grew up on the north side, I would find myself over at Wrigley hanging out because I love baseball.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, Hoge and Carman did Cubs post-game shows when they won the World Series in 2016.
We did. People should know that.
Yes. True story.
Also, true story. Andy Mazer was crying when the Cubs won the World Series. You were in La La Land. I think I had to start that show by myself.
I was in Cleveland. They sent me.
Oh, that's right. You weren't there. That's what it was.
Yes.
You were at Game 7.
6 and 7, yes.
Great job by you.
I don't think you ever even put me on.
Yes, we did.
I'm sure you did. I remember like walking around Progressive Field looking for Rick Tellender at like 3 a.m. or somebody to party with.
Okay. How long have they been doing the whoop there it is thing on home runs?
At least since 2020.
I have no idea.
So every time they hit a home run, they do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Is that
that's
true?
lame.
Whoop, there it is.
It's very lame. I don't
You
know.
were
if
at the
it's
game on Saturday.
I don't pay attention. With all due respect, the Cubs in-game stuff is so incredibly lame. They're still singing the YMCA.
Yeah, that annoys me.
Oh,
But when the grand
Yeah.
slam was hit last night and the lights are going off, which the lights are a new feature,
the LED lights
I
look
am-
super cool.
which they copied from the White Sox.
No, they copied from everyone. I hate the new lights.
Why?
I don't want like the lights to be flashing going out. Like, what are we doing? You know who started that?
You can't see. Like, you could see better with these lights. The
No,
lights
but
don't take effect.
I don't want the strobing on-off flashing
He's
after
talking about when,
scores
like,
and all that. It
Home
started at
runs
like
are hit and they flash.
it started at like Middle Tennessee, like some random college football team, and you're like, why did the lights go off when they scored a touchdown? And now everyone's doing it, and I'm sorry, I know I'm old, but that's Wrigley Field. You don't need fancy lights that flash on and off.
All I was
and
going to
make
say
Ws.
is it's April. It's cool to see a baseball ballpark have that type of atmosphere in a game that it's April.
Vibes, man. North side vibes.
Yeah, so we can't shit on the lights and the songs and the thing. Like, it was cool. And there are people there, and that's the part I was jealous at.
Yeah, I'm cool with the everything else. Just the lights going on and off is dumb.
I've got your solution.
Because meanwhile, my team was just ruining Papa Hoge's 70th birthday.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. Tough way to end a ball game over there.
The Luis Robert home run was crazy, though. He, like, barely hit the ball, and it went 400 feet.
Man's been off to a nice start over there.
Yeah.
White Sox have a little bit of, I don't know what's in the water over there. They can't stay healthy.
All right. Well,
But I'm glad. Listen, you're welcome on the north side. There's plenty of room.
for me, the north side is Milwaukee,
Oh, I see.
the Brewers.
I got it. Well,
Which
you're
they
welcome.
have some good atmosphere there, too. But that was cool. That was honest to God, that was really cool. Our friend Larry Hawley from WGN apparently lives a few blocks away from Wrigley. Didn't know that. He posted a video where you can actually hear the crowd go nuts.
Listen,
That was a cool video.
I'm just telling you, I've made the transition. I went to 800 White Sox games last year. I
Yeah.
root for the Sox.
I know.
It's just been for, they came to GN in 2017. I've been Team White Sox. And
I'm not a Cub hater. I was rooting for them to win the World Series in 16.
You were?
Yes. Who doesn't remember what now?
I remember you walking in and stewing like, "Go Cubs, go."
No, I did not. Those were different shows.
Oh, that was a different.
That was 2015.
Okay. Those were the 15 shows.
Yeah.
Okay, it took you 15 to have that
Yeah.
experience to go to 16. I mean, that's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
What I do want to say, though, is like most people, absolutely love the new rules. I think it's great. We need more atmospheres like the Cubs had last night at Wrigley. That was cool. Get rid of the exit inning rules. They're pointless now. You don't need them. The putting the guy on second base. The White Sox and Twins were in the 10th inning last night.
The Manfred
2 hours
man.
and 20 minutes into the game. The whole point of that was to not let games go on forever. They already fixed that now with the new rules. You don't need to. That's not baseball. You don't need to put a guy on second.
No more Manfred man. Get him out of there.
No, but here's why I tee up the second part of it.
Yeah.
So, because time of the game, okay, whatever. They've also increased the action on the base pass this year, which is another reason why you don't have to start with a guy on second. Get a guy on base, have him steal second, which they're doing anyway.
Yeah.
The White Sox haven't had a guy thrown out all year. Most teams are stealing bases at a ridiculous clip now. So, again, it's pointless. The games are sped up now, and you can get guys over easier. Unless you're the White Sox, you can't get them in from second, even with the bonus thing. But you don't need it. That's the only thing. Get rid of it or start it in the 12th inning. I don't need it in the 10th.
Okay, I will come with you on that part. I'll agree. You don't need to do it in the 10th. Let's start the 11th. You can start in the 11th.
Whatever. Like,
No, 12th or maybe 13th.
Yeah, I agree the game shouldn't be going 14 innings, 15 innings because you don't want to ruin your bullpen.
But you do
for days,
just
because that's part of the equation too, and part of why part of it's health, and I get it.
Just reminding you, both teams get that runner on second base. The game can continue on for a long time. It's not sudden death. It just creates more drama.
Right, but what I'm saying is the new rules are kind of fixing that anyway. You don't need to start with a guy in second now. I get why they started it. I wasn't a huge fan of it always, but I was in support of that being a rule. Now it's not necessary. It's just not.
Long pause, which is never good for YouTube/audio world, but I don't want to die on the vine like they absolutely have to do it, but it doesn't it's keeping. The whole point of moving the game along is now not to slow it down when you get to extra innings and try to make it last. It's not like the last lick of the lollipop here. This is the game now.
The Twins won the game last night on one pitch that wasn't even a swing.
Because the White Sox didn't score and they
But
dropped.
that's not how you should win a game.
If you throw the ball down the right field line into the corner, you absolutely should have to walk off the field.
No,
and lose.
then that would put the guy on second, and then he could steal first, and he could score in a normal way a baseball game is played. It's just, all I'm saying is it's not necessary anymore. They fixed the game. You don't need to have this wonky extra inning rule.
I agree with
Trust
you.
me, I know the White Sox would have lost the game anyway. I'm not saying this because they lost. They were 100% going to lose that game from start to finish. That's not at all it. It's just not necessary.
All right. I don't disagree.
Michael Taylor would have been on second and scored easily on the next play, probably.
I don't disagree with you, but when we get into extras and the dude's already out there, I enjoy it. Let's go. Drama. I'm all for it.
It's just I don't know. Someone's saying sour grapes. I don't know why it would be.
Chubbs is a White Sox.
Chubbs, I don't do a baseball podcast on a daily basis. I've been saying this since spring training, and you just saw it play out last night, which is why it's topical now at the end of this show.
All right, wind's blowing out at Wrigley. I got some bets in. I got Ian Happ to hit a homer. I figured,
celebrate his money, like it.
Yeah, and then Jared Kelenic, who's hit one each of the last two games.
I bet the Lakers last night when they were getting 5.5 points, and I won. It's the first time in a while. So congratulations, me.
There you go. All right.
Are the Bulls going to win tonight?
No. Do you guys care about?
Yes. Forget that. Yes, they're winning tonight. They are going to shock the world. Bulls. It's going to be an amazing post-game show. They are not going to Toronto to lay down. I'd at least take them to cover.
Yeah, they got to bring their passports.
But if they do get killed tonight, I'm going to. If I was on that show, and I'm sure that they'll do the same thing. If they don't show up tonight, that would be really
on brand.
I guess depressing.
All right, I got a couple super chats to get through. Right. These are sort of opposing, so let's do them together. Chubbs had said that the Bears have to stop trading back. It makes
I think
them
Chubbs'
look like
super chat is vetoed after his last two comments.
No, it makes them look like they're not qualified to sort out the great players from the busts. We don't need mids. Agree. And then Oscar threw us $6 to say that the Bears need to trade up for DeJuan Jones in the second round.
That name's out there. I've been a bunch lately.
I like DeJuan Jones a lot.
Yep.
And that's don't worry about the other one.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, good show.
And do we care about today's Zoom call update?
Oh, yes.
Nick still at the gym. But you guys look good. You were outside. I was like, I got to record this for just a couple seconds.
Yeah, this was a good-looking call.
Kevin depressed with the talent he has to work with.
Is he frozen? I don't really know.
Kind of irritated. He's got to be on the call. Me.
I'm not irritated. I'm the one who is making the calls.
But look at you. You just look like.
I'm trying to actually block this. Honestly, what I'm doing is I'm blocking the sun on my face. That's
What's Nick thinking about?
He's thinking about his his lats.
Nick's annoyed he's on the call because he's at the gym.
Yeah.
I had Poppy the puppy today, so we were walking, and then at that part of the clip, end of the show, mine as well. Okay. I needed to get out of that park, and I needed to get home, and it was important that I started moving because
too much information.
Yeah, but it's all. But all
right, well,
let me tell you,
it's been a show.
It was a tight finish, but we got there.
Well, yeah. So if anyone's wondering if Nick got the hint on the whole doing meetings from the gym thing, he leaned into it today.
Tomorrow. I hope that he's doing crunches.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a meeting tomorrow, but the next Monday's meeting, I hope he's got a solid crunch.
Gary, you're wrong on DeJuan Jones not fitting the scheme. He's got experience in outside zone, and he moves extremely well out to the outside for being that big.
This Foudry guy, I tell you, Cram is the older, uglier version of Adam Sandler. That's not nice, Foudry.
Yeah, be nice.
I mean, come on. You got older and uglier. You couldn't just left it to one of them.
Dylan said Nick
I
is
also
getting
think he's
his
older
flu
than you,
shot.
isn't he?
Sandler, don't know how old Sandler is.
All right, well, let's go
Almost
watch
60,
some baseball.
We're out of here. See you tomorrow at noon.